John Davis, absolutely one of the best.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis doing what true crimers do.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis.
John Davis True Crime.
Mr. John Davis. John Davis True Crime.
John Davis True Crime.
This guy John Davis.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis True Crime. Maybe that's where I've heard that name before.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis, and it's good to see you, John. How are you?
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis True.
Hey, John Davis.
John Davis.
John Davis True Crime.
John Davis True Crime kicks butt.
Tune in and watch John Davis True Crime. You will love it. It's one of the best channels on YouTube. Tune in. It's John Davis True Crime.
That is what I seen over the weekend. Before we get to all that, before we get there, hope everybody had a good weekend. Happy 6/10/2024 for you. Everybody doing all right? Good to see you. Been a minute. I try to stay away over the weekend, but then that one notification will pop up and I'll catch the end of it and I'll be like, say what? Who is this man on our screen? This young man? Is that who you're asking about? Kind of like a dog. I shed in the summer. Sound like John, but who are you, sir? It's me. I've been trying to avoid hearing those people. It's always about the parents, not Sebastian. Well, I picked some stuff out for y'all. I'll give y'all the most probably Sebastian case thing that I've heard in a minute. Y'all want to talk about that? Or y'all want to talk about that? Karen was on JLR, right? She lives a block over from Sebastian. And I know what you're thinking. I was skeptical at first also. However, Karen claimed to be in the know with the originator of the video. Like, this is a neighborhood. She knows her. Talk to her about it. The originator don't think it was the trash truck. I don't think it was the trash truck. I think if that's accurate video, it's evidence and it got leaked. I thought that was a good live. It was interesting. I thought some of it was kind of like speculatory. And then I got concerned though when I heard one thing this lady said who JLR was interviewing. Blah blah something about Proudfoot, and she's like, and then I seen his YouTube videos, and I was like, she knows about YouTube. This makes it interesting. Because y'all know how people are. Who knows? Was Karen a plant? I said, I want to hear what you have to say about it today, and Brooks is going to catch it today too. Can't avoid it, but I try to watch stuff about summer if there is any. West, actually, I got, you know what's it? You ask and you shall receive. This is summer-esque. I seen Fred Hill commented this. I know for a fact that the boys have been locked in the basement, and I called CPS. Did y'all see that? See that? Thoughts? Opinions? I know for a fact that the boys have been locked in the basement, and I called CPS. So if Fred Hill's telling the truth, is that why there was one of the CPS cases? Fred Hill got one started over him locking the boys in the basement. Is that what we're to believe? The weird thing about that is, though, right? The construction of the basement and how it was built makes you wonder, right? That if you can manage to secure that back door, all they got are little windows, and then you cover up the hole there under the bar, and that's like a cell. I'm just saying, if that ain't true, if that's untrue, I have a feeling Fred Hill is going to get a cease and desist from Tim Mullen. By the way, shit's been going lately. That's how these things seem to go. That's a bold statement to just put out there, ain't it? That's a serious statement. Locking them in the basement to the point where I felt it was necessary to involve the CPS. What do you say? Is it true? If it is, then you would think somebody definitely charged whose kid was missing. How much can we believe Fred Hill? Look at Fred Hill's background. You know, why is he just now coming out with that? That's an interesting point, because that should have been day one information. You know, I think if that would have been told from day one, the pressure on the police to solve Summers' case would have been so pumped up that it would have just the people's reaction, having known that and knowing that she had been missing. You know, that could have changed a lot of fates. Telling it 3 years out seems, well, unless he's told it before. That's the first time I've come across that. Well, Fred could have been upstairs partaking in the mathematics, and they locked the boys downstairs. Yeah, that's another good thing too. That's a good point in itself. Hey, you know this. So you mean to tell me, to know this, you pretty much had to have seen it. So you were there, and they were like, "Hey, hold on, we're going to lock the kids in the basement. I'll be right back. We'll go upstairs and hang out and drink beer and shit. It's cool." And you're just like, oh, okay. And now you're like, they were locked in the basement Birds of a feather, bro. Birds of a feather. That's all I'm saying, man. Either way is the way I see that. Tells a lot about your character when a situation like that occurs. Do you wait and think, and there's no way you called CPS. I don't believe that. Don't believe it. I don't know why people fan the flames, though. I don't see what you get out of that. Don lied about being friends with neighbors. He did not have church people for friends, in my opinion. Well, in the video where he come, just found out, got pretty good neighbors. Didn't know, had never met the neighbors. Don't know anybody around here. Only hang out with my church people. Then we come to find out everybody's got a story. Yeah, I was up Dawn's one night, and he's butchering cats, and another person got a crazy story, and then they keep coming out the woodwork. And that's what's starting to happen in Sebastian's case. That lady that was on JLR, if things keep evolving, we'll know who she is. You know? Think of what a scary that thought is. The way these things are mirroring each other, this keeps happening. It's wild. And you know, the Seth thing is wild too. The cease and desist, that's the first time I've seen anybody go that far. I don't know. I don't know that I've seen everything JLR said about him. I don't know. I can't myself say what I would do being in his situation. But I wouldn't be copywriting images and stuff like that. I really don't think that helps. You know? And the I think the chemicals lady spraying. I wouldn't want to limit stuff. I actually seen or heard, I can't remember which it was. I think I was listening to something, and he said, I don't want to get this wrong. How was it he put it? But basically what he got to the point was he was going to be doing YouTube, and to get updates on Sebastian, you're going to have to be a member to keep the drama out of it. I was like, what? You sitting here last week telling us that Tony and are you and Tony telling us that the cops won't share nothing with you, but then you're going to tell everybody to get updates, they're going to have to be members. I was like, wow, dude, really? You are trying at this point to push people away. That's self-destructive behavior. Cease and desist would just make me want to cover it more after that. Yeah, now it makes it like and maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's playing chess and we're playing checkers and don't get his point. But I would like to see the court case against somebody, the crime being shown a picture of missing persons. But JLR will take it too far. He'll tempt that. You know that. That's the way this is playing out. What's weird is with these suspects who get talked about, think that includes them in the true crime community, like Candace lately, like Seth making a channel, trying to be a YouTuber. The police probably don't want to tell Seth anything because of his behavior on YouTube. Oh yeah, I guarantee you that, man. Cops ain't going to tell nobody shit that's important if they really think they're going to not be trustworthy with the information. Crazy theory. Could Tony be a plant to mess with Seth's mind? Seems things went really sour for Seth after Tony came in. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who you think sent him in. You think he's a Proudfoot hire? That is true though. Things have went bad for him since Iron Seth. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that because I think Tony came in right after he flipped out the first time, didn't he? Because he lost a lot of people with that. A lot, I think.
Me and Chris are putting our differences aside. It's not about our egos. It's about finding Sebastian. Me, Chris, and Katie will begin working together. And if everybody else could just fuck off and put your egos aside, help us find our son. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is the goal of this shit. If you can't get on that, get the.
That's what lit him up. That's what destroyed a lot of it right there, you know. Then, after that, is when I'm not even playing that. Is the thing with Trev, and if you seen that, and you know, I do try to take into the fact that his son's missing, and I think everybody agrees he's not a suspect, right? But he's a hot. I mean, this is real. There's real life too. Seth's a hot-headed dude, apparently. And it's strange how he got hot-headed with Trev, but it seemed like in Proudfoot's presence he didn't get too hot-headed, and you know, now that he told everybody to F off and all that, and it didn't work out, he seems like he brings Tony in, is making everything just worse. How Tony don't vet shit better? Like he tries to use stuff that I think any YouTuber that's really looked into Sebastian has seen before, and use it as evidence. And everybody that really looked into it was like, "No, that's not what that is. That's tricky shit." You know. And with what intentions? Tell me in what world? Does it help by risking putting something, especially like you think about the stuff he put out about Sebastian got put in a car and all that. What if people the only they know about him is that they probably see Tony that and believe that forever, you know? Yeah, that was the kid that got put in somebody seen him put in a car. No, that never happened. It's just wild to get shit wrong is all I'm saying. You know, and that's why I think Tony gets a bad grade, is because he's doing it, and he's like made himself in this position, come out and said, I am, you know, doing this for him. and then to make them to make the bad mistakes of what he talks about releases that's wrong. I don't think it's anything to encourage the back and forth between Seth and Chris. It's never going to help anything for that to keep being the focus of the situation. Nah, I didn't find it, Jesse. Not yet. Anyone know why the cops was called on Seth last night? No. What have you heard? These kids are not lost puppies. They aren't alive, in my opinion. Summer, Michael, Sebastian, Elijah. Poor Elijah, man. Nothing in that case going on. Is this breaking news? I haven't heard anything about this. Is it JLR breaking news? At 6:30. So is it a title? Oh, that sucks. 6:30. My God. 6:30. What time? Where? It's gonna make us wait all day. Are you talking you on the West Coast? Is it coming out now? We might go to him live. Nah, we'll send somebody and then come back and tell us, because all you need is the gist. Right. I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. What do y'all think about that, though, Fred? Fred Hill saying that the boys was locked in the basement. Wouldn't you love to be able to ask Ronnie Lawson questions when shit like this comes up? Wouldn't you love if Ronnie would come on? I wish Ronnie Lawson would do YouTube. And when shit like this pops up, we can be like, Ronnie, would you like to explain to us why no one was arrested for locking their kids in the basement? Yeah, John, what it is we cover for fellers that's been around the community for a while. We're pretty good buddies. They get away with a lot of shit they shouldn't, cause their grandpas from up the road there. Thank you, Ronnie. It'd be so great to bring it up, though, wouldn't it? Ronnie, was there ever an arrest made when Fred Hill mentioned the locking of the boys in the basement? I don't know, man. Sometimes I just feel like Ronnie don't want to be bothered with shit. I don't know what it is. I tell you, we're coming up on 3, right? 5 days from 3 years. Is there going to be any update, you think, from anybody on Summers' case? I tell you, what you're going to get is a carbon copy of what you got last year and the year before. Ain't heard shit. We ain't forgot about her. Don't know. Looking at stuff left and right. RL seems pretty indifferent about Summers' case. There you go, Suzette. Suzette's going up in a few. Remember, no cussing and flashing and nothing like that, Suzette. Oh, heck no. I don't know Peter Griffith. Oh, yeah. Good try, Jesse. Good try, Jesse. I don't know her neither. What's that? Hello?
Good morning. Good morning, John.
Is that you, Suzette?
It is.
Well, you trying to be all slick, no camera going Miss Prissy on me. I thought you was trolling. I wasn't going to let you up.
No, I use Miss Prissy over on the other panels, but I have some questions for you about the summer case. I want your opinion.
Shoot.
Okay. On the EquiSearch, they said Ronnie Lawson won't bring EquiSearch back in because of money, blah, blah, blah. Don't they work on donations?
Is that what they say is up? I've never heard them use that excuse. I never heard the exact reason they wouldn't more than love to have EquiSearch back.
Well, you have to have an invitation. Like they need to be invited back up there by Ron. Well, by the law enforcement would have to invite them back up there for them to search.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, that sucks that the law enforcement has to invite them, don't it?
Oh yeah.
But I guess that's how they get rights to search wherever they're searched. I don't know.
Well, like I said, if they're using money for an excuse, EquiSearch works on donations. And I know I heard Twala say on Duty Ron that they would go back in a heartbeat if they were allowed to go back up there. But, that's been a while back. I had that conversation, I listened to that about that. Okay. There was some other things too. Do you, in your opinion, this is because I've been talking to some people that were in this case, like right from the get-go, with the scamathon and stuff like that went on. Do you think that Tim Mullins paid people to paid certain YouTubers to throw a wrench in this case for summer?
No. I think the ones that did stuff did it for their own purpose. Who are we talking about?
I really wouldn't know because there's so many of them that, have came in. Right. Now, I want to say this too, and we can forget about that. That was just, a little something. I want to say this too. If you go back to everybody's story has changed from the initial couple of first weeks, everybody's. And now you've actually got Fred Hill implicated himself right up in the middle of that case, as far as saying Cotton, done away with her, and I mean, he has to me, he implicated himself.
Yeah, he sure did. He keeps doing it, and that's the thing about it. It's kind of weird. Anybody that's guilty would willingly speak and say the shit he does and act like he does. I think he's full of shit. I don't think he has nothing. I don't think he knows nothing. I think he happened to be a neighbor who, I mean, he's got his own past. I just, it's not a credible source in my opinion. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah,
I think he's probably done a lot of stuff. I don't take a lot of anything to do with Fred Hill seriously. If I'm really considering what happened to Summer.
Well, this is what I was talking about last night too on Mama Bears. You've got people, everybody up there is either on meth, they drink, they do, other drugs. There's so much that all of them around the whole situation, they own something. Even Jody Sue, who doesn't take she was doing chemo and stuff like that. So, I'm thinking her head was full of that kind of medicine and different things, So you couldn't get it. You're not going to get a good answer or a clear answer out of anybody that's messed up all the time. They ain't got the truth in them, because hell, they might not remember the truth. I don't know. And it's a crying shame that they have just buried this case pretty much, to me, between the lies, the addictions, I don't know. Ronnie Lawson, to me, they just buried this case.
I don't get why Ronnie Lawson wouldn't at some point ask for help from somebody if he's not getting any damn where.
Well, I was told that it is because, and no, I wasn't told. This was an opinion.
Well, I mean, isn't TBI over Summer's case now?
That's what I thought. Because they said if Ronnie Lawson can't make a dime off of it, he ain't gonna do nothing to help. It's beginning to really look like that.
My thing when it comes to Ronnie Lawson is, it seemed like Ronnie Lawson didn't. I never understood Ronnie Lawson's theory of, or the sheriff's, or the theory they pretty much had, to me, seemed like she was in the area somewhere, right? They always stuck to that.
Yes.
But they never wanted to search. If you thought she was in the area, why didn't you keep searching? Let others search. Why aren't you searching? I don't understand that.
Because they shady, and I'm gonna tell you, they didn't want to go on other people's property. Okay, that right there is bull crap. You turn it upside down, and you know what I'm saying? You're searching for a missing kid, and they're talking about, well, everybody just search their own property. What? If you know how those people are up there, they got their little things going on, how funny they are about people being on their property. That's when you send in the U.S. Marshals, if you have to, and you turn it upside down to look for a missing child.
I mean, if you have, you better have some damn good evidence that's where she's at if you're going to bring in the National Guard, Suzette.
I said Marshals, U.S. Marshals. I didn't say. I'm just saying, don't you think that it should be in a case like that? You can search wherever you need to search for a missing child.
Yeah, I think you search wherever the evidence leads you. You know.
Well, it is not about evidence. I'm talking about the days after she went missing. You're up there searching, and then you got people, and then you're just saying, well, let's, everybody search their own property. Well, maybe they didn't, or maybe they just, looked under a rock. I don't know, but why would you leave? I don't know. And I don't like that. Now help me out here.
No, I mean, I'm all about searching, but you're talking about like invading. It depends on where you're I don't think you should just be able to invade anybody's property and search it. No, that's not. I don't agree with that. Without evidence.
Well, the evidence was she was missing, and they were trying to find her.
Who you got to have? But where are you going to start at?
I don't know. I just all them people, all them up there. And then you've got to think about this. They go with this kidnapping story. They're dead set on the kidnapping story, okay? And I'm telling you right now, the last few months I've been really cutting Dawn and Candace a lot of slack. I've been trying to go, I've been trying to look at it from all angles. And so if you go with this kidnapping story, well, you got to think about that kind of had to be a perfect storm for a kidnapping story. For some stranger just to come along and there she was, let's grab her up, that didn't know that area, just happened alone. I mean, that would, and then here comes the baby wandering, just out of nowhere. That's kind of, to me, has to be a perfect storm. And I just don't know about that kidnapping story. I don't believe it.
You know, the thing about it is, I think, and I really think, if there was any footage of a car that they couldn't explain, there'd be an alert for it. And I don't think the truck was that. So I don't think there was anybody I don't think it was a stranger. 100% is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. No, it was not a stranger, right? But somebody said they had to go with the kidnapping story to get the Amber Alert out there. Like, there wouldn't have been an Amber Alert if they couldn't have, went with some. If they wouldn't have had some kind of vehicle involved, which is probably, why the red truck was so important at the time, because they wanted the Amber Alert.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that there wasn't no stranger that set off the Amber Alert.
No, well, I don't either. That timeline is not right. I think she was gone at least 2 hours before 911 was called. That, just by my figuring, how I've studied on it, and yeah, I think it was almost 2 hours, John, before 911 was called.
You think?
Yeah.
Why do you think that it happened at the scream?
No, what I think I think she made it back home. Yeah, I know there's a lot that think there's something happened between Allison's house and Ben Hill, but I don't think that, because Candace can tell you everything they did that day up until they got home, and then that's where her story falls apart, if you think about it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like she can tell you, we was at the ER, at the, then we went to Walgreens, then we went to the smoke shop, then we went to the grocery store, and then we went to the swimming hole, and then we was at Hunter's, and we picked Hunter up, we dropped Hunter off.
Right.
All that is pretty much proven, like you pretty much got proof of all of those things happening. But once
Right.
you get back home, it falls apart.
So what do you think happened after they got home?
Well, there's a couple of theories that I think could have happened. There's a couple of things I think could have happened. One, and my biggest thing has always been she wandered off, and, either she's there somewhere around in those woods, possibly in that creek, down the creek, that's my number one thing that I thought. Two, I don't rule out Jody Sue's son.
Ooh.
That was weird. I don't rule her son out. And three, if it was somebody that got her, it was somebody from that area. It was somebody that knew those dogs. It was somebody that knew that property, and it was somebody that knew Candace might have been in there drunk, passed out.
Maybe it was somebody sleeping down there at the shed.
That's what I'm saying. If she got gone, it was somebody from right there,
You ever seen that spot down at the bottom where the shed is? Like right up from it, just a little bit, there's this little like house, and there's a turnaround right in the front of the house. Like you can pull in and turn you can make a loop. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
That looks like a damn drug den to me, if there ever was one, like a pull up.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Jody Sue said something the other day. She was on Andrew's panel, and she went up there, and Act Right was able to go up there and talk to her a little bit, and she said that a couple of days prior to Summer going missing, that Candace had been, and I for some reason I believe this a little bit because of some other things, that Candace usually was passed out, asleep early, 7 or 8 o'clock. That was her routine. She starts drinking at 5, and then she, passed out by early, 8 o'clock.
Right.
But Jody Sue said a couple of weeks prior to Summer going missing, that Candace was like up late, out in the yard late. Just it wasn't the normal for Candace to be up and out and about after 9 o'clock per se.
Right.
So I mean, to me, it's just like little clues, little things like that. It's just something.
You think it was tweaking behavior?
I don't know if it was tweaking behavior or just. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. There's like a little missing piece in there.
I just like to make a disclaimer. Everything me and Suzette talk about are our opinions and theory and speculation only. Thank you.
Yes, allegedly for educational purposes only. Because I'm not accusing nobody. These are just my thoughts that I tossed around in my head, and then I've tossed around with other creators and stuff. Because I don't think she was kidnapped by a stranger. I don't think it was a stranger abduction.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Don't worry about it.
In my opinion. And I know that, you can go down the rabbit hole. Well, not really a rabbit hole. I know it's a big thing, and I know a lot of people think of the trafficking. Well, if it's a trafficking situation, then it's happening right there. It's coming from right there somewhere. And I'm just trying to I'm trying to get back to the very beginning to piece it together a little bit. Just little things that we've missed, or little things we forgot about because it's been so much in this case, so much.
Yeah.
And I think your biggest pieces are the pieces in the first couple of weeks, somewhere in there.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure. You remember in the beginning how I think an overwhelmingly amount of people thought that she had drowned at the swimming hole.
I just
You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that, but I don't think that. I don't know why, but that's just my opinion.
I just remember it. I remember thinking back to the end. I can almost remember good enough to experience what it was like. I can remember thinking, first time I heard about the swimming hole and stuff, I thought, that's bad. And I looked it up, and you'd be surprised how high drowning rates are. They're pretty high. And it always tweaked me out when Candace said when they got there, H went up in the woods, up in there in that direction or somewhere. And I always thought, what if they went up there, did something, and that's what happened? I always thought that was a possibility.
Well, and it could have been, but I just don't think that's where the story gets crazy. To me, the story just gets crazy with the timeline after they got home.
Well, the whole timeline's crazy. You got a 5-year-old that don't want to go in none of the stores. That's crazy as hell to me.
And she had H watching TikToks and stuff, and I could see, that her saying, "Oh, I want to stay with H," and blah blah. I can see that, because they had not seen each other in a while. H hadn't seen Summer in a while because of the fussing that was going on between Allie and Candace. So I could see Summer kind of latching on to H that day, wanting to hang out with him and stuff. I can see that. But I can't see is I don't bring up the boys, and I'm only going to bring up this part of it. I think that if the boys would have said Summer was not there that day, if they had not seen her that day, that they would have went a different direction in the investigation.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Like, if those boys would have said, "No, we ain't seen her. No, we didn't see her come home. We didn't," then I think that they would have started at the swimming hole. That's my opinion. That's why I rule out the swimming hole, is because I just believe that investigation would have been handled different.
So you rule it out 100%?
I rule it out 100% if the boys saw Summer that day come home. Yes.
Well, I mean, we don't know that they stated they saw her come home that day.
That's what I'm saying, but I think they were they were questioned. They had to have been questioned. Sure. And I just believe that if they would have not seen her that day, don't you think that investigation would have went a different direction?
I think it's possible that she could have convinced them Summer was there without them realizing she wasn't. Like the whole thing of what's your sister from the echoey voice while they're busy playing the Xbox,
Yeah.
I know how much attention my boys would have paid to me when they were playing Xbox. You know, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
You know,
and I see that too. I see that. And then
maybe
there's just one
maybe
more thing.
they seen her in the truck, thought she was sleeping, and when Candace went out on her search, she put her somewhere. That's what EquiSearch caught on to, and then she was moved after that.
That's exactly what EquiSearch thinks, that she was moved, and then they got pulled back, and that has kicked me off ever since, because I believe that maybe if they would have stayed, she would have been found. You know that. And there's one more thing that I do want to point out. And me and my girls, we was talking. I know you think we a bunch of gossipy things over there that do that keep, but we do. We do have some thoughts on this. And Act Right brought this up. Well, it might not have been Act Right, but anyways, one of them brought this up, that when she's swinging on that swing, and that video of her swinging on that swing,
Yeah.
and it looks like there is a flash in those trees. There's a caption: when she swings, it looks like there's a flash in those trees. Who takes pictures?
I don't know.
Who's the photographer?
I haven't seen it.
You've seen it. You probably just have forgotten about it, or I know you've seen that picture of her swinging on the swing. But I think it's when she goes forward. Your chat can probably tell you what I'm talking about. Because when she goes, anyways.
No, I've seen it, Suzette. I think it was I think it was probably something in the film or in the camera or something like that. I don't think nobody was out snapping pictures in the bushes.
Well, but if they were,
I mean, if you believe that, you should believe there could have been a stranger.
If I believe that, I'm thinking Tim Mullins. There, I said it.
Yeah. If I tell you what, I'll say this: I'll give this if it's an actual camera shot. I will give you this. I will go that route too, because he sketched it up way too much about when they first met and all that.
Yep. And that's all. I mean, I just had a few things I wanted to run by you, because you keep it real, and I value your opinion more than anybody's. And
thank you.
I love to run things by you, because you will straight up say, no, I think that's bullshit, or you will straight up be like, okay, I see your point of view on it. You know.
Yeah. See, I don't think there's evidence in that stuff outside of what it is. You know. I don't think. I think what happened to her, I know who's responsible for it in my mind.
Right. And
I don't branch out to all these other people, you know.
Right. So you wouldn't.
But I guess what, I gotta go. I gotta go, because guess what I gotta do?
You gotta go fix something.
No, I gotta go be on Crime Lines and Live.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm coming over there. I'll be in chat.
I'm
All
gonna.
right, John. It was good talking to you. I'll jump down so you can end your program. Thank you so much for letting me come up and toss my ideas around.
Well, thank you for coming up.
Bye. I'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Suzette's always a good chat. Yeah, I'm going to go. Thanks everybody for coming. Appreciate all of y'all. I'll see y'all Wednesday, and I'm gonna go be on Brooks's stuff. See what she's saying. Crime Lines and Lies. We're gonna talk about Seth, I think. See y'all.